2014 finale to Sons of Anarchy left you wanting more motorcycles, murder, and mayhem. I've got some great news. It's getting a sequel, and the people behind it are loitering on our balcony. Maybe Damon can shake them down for some intel. Damon?
It's true, the Sons of Anarchy legacy continues in Mayans MC. With me here are the guys to thank for that, the show creator Elgin James and executive producer and director Norberto Barba. Gentlemen, welcome to the IGN balcony up here.
Thanks, man.
In the shadow of a giant Mayans MC advertisement on the hotel back there. You can't see it in our shot, but it's very impressive, looming over all of Comic-Con back there.
It's a lot of JD Pardo back there.
Yeah, it's true. Since you mentioned JD, tell us about JD, our new protagonist slash anti-hero maybe for Mayans MC. What's he all about?
He plays Easy Reyes, and Bert and I were talking earlier. Basically, a lot of our shows is about the death of the American dream and death of several American dreams, his being one of those. He was a kid who was set up as a golden child, was about to cash in on all the hard work he's done, all the hard work his parents had done for him, and then destiny had something else in mind for him. So he went from being in Stanford to being a prospect for an outlaw motorcycle club.
Right. He's been to prison, isn't that right?
He's been to prison, that's right.
So fresh out of prison.
Fresh out of prison, and I've been to prison, as are several actors in our on our show.
Wow.
So that was a story that we really wanted to tell about how to re-assimilate back into the world and back into the culture. And JD Pardo is brilliant. The way that he's just inhabited this character and brought so much more soul that we ever could have written on the page.
So what's his connection to the Mayans, to the MC?
His brother, Angel Reyes, he's a full patch member of the Mayans MC.
Okay, got you. So when you were thinking about expanding the Sons of Anarchy universe, why did you feel like the Mayans were the right club to focus on?
Well, that was a Kurt Sutter decision.
Yeah.
And I know that Kurt had been thinking about it since Sons was on the air. And I think Mayans was an organic sort of connection and continuation of that saga.
We'll be focusing on a new club, surely introducing many new characters, but will we also see some returning faces?
You'll definitely see our El Padrino, which is Marcus Alvarez.
Yeah.
Milo Rivera, who's the reason why we even have this show, because of how much soul and depth he gave his character. But yeah, you may see some stuff, maybe worth checking in on September 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, you premiere on Tuesday, September 4th.
That's right. And the interesting thing about Marcus Alvarez is the Mayans MC that were in Sons were the Northern California chapter, and our Mayans are in the Southern California chapter, and he becomes the cement between the two worlds of Sons and the Mayans.
Yeah, he's really the bridge from one show into another.
Yeah.
That brings us into this new world in that same universe.
So we're picking up several years after the ends of Sons of Anarchy. Like 4
Correct.
years, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Jax, obviously, that show ended in the death of Jax. Was there like a vacuum left in his wake where the other clubs tried to move in and take over territory?
I mean, it definitely changed the landscape of outlaw culture in our version of the MCs, or the one percenters in California, in our universe. But you're going to have to check in on Tuesday, September 4th to find out just how much happened in that vacuum.
When you're making sort of like a spin-off series or a companion series like this, I'm sure you have to balance, wanting to tell new stories while also, trying to remind people of what they liked about the old series, right? People want to see something familiar in there, right? Yeah.
Right. I mean, we have the DNA of an iconic series, and so we are going to have vestiges of that series. But we will stand alone and different because we are the Mayans. And it's a different location, it's a different world, different characters, but you will definitely feel that motorcycle outlaw feel.
Would you say the show has a similar tone to Sons of Anarchy?
I think so, in the way that it's just a show for people that know that the status quo is, sorry Adriana, bullshit, and knows, oh shit, I covered up on the wrong part.
Says the wrong word.
And that the game is rigged against all of us, and so every, an hour a week they want to, check in to see these outlaws being able to like make their own rules, to see these underdogs make their own rules and get their own justice, even if that justice is a little bloody somehow.
Sons got pretty messed up at points. We went to some super dark places. Are you going to be taking us to some pretty dark places with Mayans as well?
Mayans will explore in an organic way some dark places. And it will touch on themes that Sons touched on: family, betrayal, trust. But there are some dark places that it take you.
Well,
And I think why we have the leeway to do that, which comes from Kurt Sutter, comes from
Yeah.
the top, is because of the people that he's curated to tell this show, right? From myself to many cast members that were in gangs, that were in prison, that came from this world, and we've been watching for years in television to have these sort of black and brown stereotypes of a criminal,
Yeah.
right? And we grew up in this cycle of poverty, violence, and incarceration. So it's finally our time to get to tell that story and put a human face on it. So that's a difference with Mayans MC than I think than any show that comes before, is we get to tell our own story.
well, I'm super excited to see how you've expanded the Sons universe. Mayans MC premieres on FX Tuesday, September 4th.
Tuesday, September 4th. Watch
September
it.
4th.
Stay tuned, more to come from IGN Live here at Comic-Con 2018 after this.